The name's Dog. ZDogg.
King. Saber King.
All this and more on today's episode of BrobusCast. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of BrobusCast. I'm your host, Brobuscus. With me today is ZDogg.
Hi. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
And Richard.
Smashing. Very smashing idea.
Okay.
My gosh.
So we have returned. We have returneth. And we have things to talk about. Lots of things. Because a whole hiatus happened, and then a whole episode came out. And then a whole teaser happened. What the heck is happening? So I mean, I don't know. I guess we just start off with the most recent episode, which I guess actually came out today.
For the ninth half. Oh my god. The second half of its ninth season, not the ninth half of its second season. Gosh. I can English good. Anyway.
Eyes is good in the Englishes. So mid-season premiere, and it is a wild matchup. This is becoming a thing, and you know what? I'm kind of for it. We got Bond, James Bond versus Wick, John Wick.
Yeah.
AKA my most hyped matchup of this back half.
Honestly, same. So, I mean, I guess before we even jump into it, I mean, I guess since this is the mid-season premiere, we didn't do an episode for it.
Talk about the matchup in general.
What was y'all's reaction seeing this get announced?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I very unexpected, I will say. First of all, I did kind of get spoiled beforehand because of the RTX thing. So made a thumbnail before it, but I just kind of shocked about that, but also shocked because, I mean, just getting these characters on to begin with is a bit wild, and also not because of their. If they were getting on, it's one of those things like they have other. They had other options like Bond, Born, and Wick versus 47 or Bride, but I was very pleasantly surprised. Let's say that to see them against each other, and them on in general. So
I mean, throw a stone at a shelf of spies, and there's a good chance that they've probably been suggested to fight Bond.
I'm in the same boat as ZDogg, except I was a little more perplexed as to why specifically Bond versus Wick. I'm gonna be honest, I do somewhat fall in the middle of the camp of this matchup, whereas I'm for it, but I don't like it. I do think there are better matchups for both of these two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do think there are better matchups for these two, and ultimately I think it was most definitely a better idea to wait until Wick's fourth film, because that's the thing when you do a character like Wick, who only has 3 films, 1 video game, and a comic. It's very limiting, and since the series is still ongoing, new shit's gonna be added on the fly.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit unfortunate, but yeah.
I will correct you. There are 2 games and 1 guest appearance in a game, which is confirmed canon.
Okay, fair enough.
But your point still stands.
Yeah, and I was just interested to see how they would execute this. And well, as we get on more into it later on, I will say this. I can understand the tons of backlash this fight is getting. But
I will say, okay, when I saw it announced, I was like, wait, what? I mean, I will agree with ZDogg. Like, the fact that we got both of them on at all was like, oh shoot, really? Which is kind of like, it's odd for me to feel that way because like Bond is one of the most like iconic fictional characters like ever.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, he absolutely deserves to be on here. It's just
yeah. What? It's like Poe.
Yeah. Well, in a way.
Yeah, in a way. But then I was like, okay, so Bond, that's cool, but like, wait a minute. He's fighting John Wick. Like that took me by complete surprise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing just like, I don't want to steal your spotlight, but like again, like when you see so many other opponents or when you think of their more popular opponents and they just end up fighting someone else, like,
yeah. But over time, I was like, you know what? I mean, I started like paying attention to some discussions, and whatnot from like the researchers, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of into it. You know, it kind of took me by surprise, but you know what? I'm down, sure. And then I thought for a second, I was like, wait a minute. My family are all I mean, sans my sister, are all pretty big Wick fans. And I know they all watch at least. I know they've watched at least some of the Bond movies. I'm like, you know what?
There you go. Actually, funny you mentioned that. I mean, this is a bit while before. I mean, it was when it was announced on Cast, but I actually did tell my dad about it, and actually showed him it today, and he actually liked it. So I'm very happy about that because he likes both franchises, and I'm happy that.
I still need to show my parents the whole thing. I showed them the preview, and they were super into it. But, I need to show them the whole fight still. But I will say, you know, I said on a previous podcast that I would get into as many of the new franchises this season as possible. So I watched all 3 of the John Wick movies, and I've watched 5 Bond movies. I know there's like 20, but I've only watched 5.
You know, it's a start.
Yeah. And you know what I gotta say? John Wick, both as the franchise and the character, is super freaking endearing to me. I love this franchise so much.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I also watched a few of the Bond films, and I did rewatch the Wick films in preparation for this. I do prefer Wick as an overall character, but I still love James Bond because I grew up in the era when Bond was coming into his own with GoldenEye and the Brosnan films, the video games. But I mostly grew up in I grew up in the generation
when he started ripping off other action heroes. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up. I grew up in the generation as Craig was developing.
Yeah, I mean, the Daniel Craig movies might as well be John Wick ripoffs. So I mean,
oh well, correction. The Wick films might as well be ripoffs of the Daniel Craig ones because you know the first
okay.
Daniel Craig film came out in 2005.
The later Craig movies. I'll correct that. The later Daniel Craig movies, like Spectre, or from what I can tell, No Time to Die. I still haven't seen it.
Me either, but yes, you are correct. I do agree. Still,
sorry, you go.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. I just, at the time of this recording, I will say my absolute 2 favorite Bonds are Sean Connery and Daniel Craig. I just think they're great Bonds. And by the way,
it's Daniel Craig for me.
yeah, even though as a character, Daniel Craig Bond is much more better because Sean Connery does a good job of playing just what a piece of shit James Bond was in his earlier films. He literally treated women like nothing. Like his main love interest in his second film, he slaps her ass after getting done, doing the British business with her, and then at one point when he's basically confronting her for her actions, he slaps her. He just slaps the shit out of her. So,
oh gosh.
And he's just a huge womanizer. He has a crush, and he's trying to flirt with his secretary, while at the same time just sleeping with a woman on the beach. And then he's also with the other love interest. So again, Sean Connery's Bonds all over the place. Go ahead.
Can't be worse than On Her Majesty's Secret Service, because oh boy.
Ooh.
God.
So
I will say I don't know how much of an unpopular opinion this is. My recommendation: don't watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Please don't.
Noted.
It's not worth it.
All right then.
No, sorry, Liam. If you're ever watching this, it's like Majesty's Secret Service ain't for me and Brobuscus.
That said, he is absolutely valid in putting Casino Royale at number 1.
Oh God, yes, no.
Watch Casino Royale.
I highly recommend watching Skyfall. It's a great follow-up.
Well,
but above all else, watch the John Wick movies. That is not a suggestion. That is a threat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I kind of wanted to do some preparation before the episode, and I never did. But I might do. I want to get around to it, especially after the episode came out, because it definitely made me a lot more intrigued in the characters. But that's.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying that because the man himself is played by Keanu Reeves. No, I'm not saying that's if John Wick.
I mean, that can be part of it.
I mean, okay, maybe.
It doesn't hurt.
I'm just saying John Wick could have been played by some jerk off the street, and I still would have recommended watching these movies.
That's fair. Okay.
Because they're fantastic. I love them. They're dumb. They're really, really dumb. But
but god dang, are they entertaining?
But yeah. Which makes me so incredibly depressed because Wick got absolutely smoked here.
Yeah, spoiler in case you haven't seen the episode. Wick is now reunited with his wife and the dog.
So sad.
God. I know I'm skipping ahead, but that scene, the phone flickering and getting shut off, I was like, oh no.
And it's a picture of him and his wife.
Yeah, a punch, man.
Thanks for the gut punch, Liam. I didn't need that today.
We're getting a lot of those this season. A lot of gut punch downer endings.
Yeah.
Well, to prove that versus debated need emotion too.
Notice how 3 of the biggest emotional gut punch episodes this season all have Liam involved.
Almost as if Liam loves torturing our heartstrings.
Oh, he does. That's just common. That's just common knowledge. He does. Liam is a sick, twisted person, and I love him for it.
Yeah. Gosh. But yeah.
Yes.
Anywho, I mean, it sucks, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I was just kind of happy to see them both involved, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'll get into this later, but I will say there is a huge part of me that really, really wanted John to win this, just because, again, if I had to choose on which one I'm more in favor to as a complete character, it would have to be John.
It's John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no offense to Bond, especially Craig Bond. He's great. I love him. But John is just much more. He has an emotional struggle that we can all empathize and relate to. Whereas with Craig Bond, he was only that for one film.
Dude, when I watched the first John Wick movie again, I was like when I saw what had happened to him, the whole break into his house, beat him senseless, and kill his dog. I'm like, well, I mean, if I had all of the assassin skills that John Wick had, I'd probably do the same thing if that happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude! Something that just gets me. Again, I swear this is the last time I'll talk about John Wick's movies, but the thing that still gets me and just makes me cry, aside from the opening, is whenever after John's dog is killed, in the poor thing's final last moments, it crawled back to John and died next to him.
Oh gosh!
I mean, granted,
that's fucking loyalty. That is loyalty.
I will be somewhat fair. We don't actually see that happen, but there's a blood trail behind the dog corpse that's right next to an unconscious John. So we know what happened, but we don't see it.
Well, yeah, it's more powerful when you don't see it. It's just, oh my god.
Yeah, but also someone could also make the assumption that one of those thugs brought the dog to him, as a way of being like, "Hey, screw you, pal."
Maybe.
I don't know, man. I prefer my headcanon version better.
Oh no, I prefer it too. But I'm just saying that that kind of interpretation can be made.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that dog can fit in my hands.
I know.
It's just a little beagle, and it makes a yelp when it gets hit. Oh, I hate it.
God, my heart's just breaking down from thinking about it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes. It's kind of common knowledge that all dog murderers deserve death.
Yeah.
And this one got his.
This one got his.
Yes. So yeah, analyses.
I would say spoiler alert, by the way, because ZDogg hasn't watched them. But the movies are almost 10 years old at this point, and B, they're action movies, so no one really cares about the plot. You're here for the action.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, analyses. I really like them.
Yeah, I dig them a lot, actually.
I like how
I do too.
They spend half of it being yeah, these are the characters, these are what they're capable of, and then the other half is yeah, here's how broken of human beings they are.
Yes.
Yeah, the world. Yeah, this is how the world really does not like. Gosh.
This universe really does not like these characters.
No,
but
doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, freaking Bond lost Bond got married twice, and both of his wives died.
Yep. And then this other girl that he was gonna quit the agency for betrayed him and died underwater while he tried to save her and just told him, no, leave me to die. And he was emotionally distraught by this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gosh. Yeah, but no, I did it was a good blend of story and just how they are as characters and versus stuff. I really like how they blended them together. So.
Yes. Although, I am in a small minority. I'm not that overfussed about how they were able to fit all of the Bond movie titles in the analysis.
I think it's hilarious. I think
it is really funny. My gosh.
I saw some people complain that man, a lot of these Bond titles, these Bond title drops feel kind of forced. I'm like, I mean, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
It's I feel like that was kind of intentional.
I mean, it's Liam flexing. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just okay. I'm not as impressed as everyone else is because, to be honest, maybe I kind of expected them to do that. So, if I don't know, I thought it was cute. I'm just like I'm not that overly fussed about it.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, my reaction is still unblocked because YouTube hates me.
Bastard.
But I did something really fun with the Bond title drops during it, so I hope you guys watch through the whole thing.
Will do.
So I love how Boomstick just tries at the very end to be like, all right, I'm like, we don't have a lot of time left. I'm just gonna squeeze in as much of them as possible. I'm like, wait, I forgot one.
I forgot.
Yes.
Gosh.
That was great.
Of course, it's not one.
Yes, and I do gotta say I love the little touch at the end when Wiz says the winner is Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I love that.
He says it in sync to Daniel Craig as well.
Yes, from Casino Royale when he shoots the guy and now declares himself as that. That was such a bad. That is. Can I just say this is a complete side note? But god dang it, I missed the end clips. I really think the end clips would have worked much better here instead of them just talking over it and then they just have the clip end.
Yeah, but copyright.
Gotta love that YouTube copyright system. It's not broken at all. What are you talking about? It is perfect in every way.
Absolutely.
Also, like when I saw the cutaway from Wix analysis and Boomstick still holding that freaking pen, I'm like, dude,
So
put the pen down.
Dear
Like,
God. Of course. Gosh, that but just doesn't stop clicking it after all else.
Yeah, I love the animation on these guys. Like, I like them in general, but then here, like the one where when Wiz notices that Boomstick's still clicking, he's like,
Yeah, that was funny. Gosh.
Oh my gosh, the look on his face is amazing. I love it. Okay. And then I guess the editing is top notch as well. But then again, water is wet. Big.
Whoa.
I know. All right, fight time.
Fight time. All right.
Blender team. We have 3 3D fights in a row.
Okay. Yeah, whoa.
Yes.
Never been done before.
And this is the third one to be done. This is the second one. No, yeah, I was right. Sorry, I was right. This is the third one to be done by the Blender team.
Third one in general, second in this little trilogy we got here.
There we go. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
There we go.
So, yes, of course, you have the usual Blender team. You have Xander, you have Dai Tomodachi, and you have the other guy whose name I cannot pronounce.
Fair enough. He's the guy that does the My Smash Academia videos. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, you have Luis overseeing the animation in general. And you have John Mitchell who provided the boards. So, yep, the usual guys for this. And
spoiler. I think it's pretty good. Just overall.
Yeah, okay.
Although
I'm gonna provide what is known as a hot take in the community right now.
Like that.
I think this is the best choreograph. I think this is the best choreographed fight the Blender team have done this season. That's
yeah.
I can agree with that.
And now, is it better looking than Harley versus Jinx?
Oh,
no, not even by a mile.
In fact, that's one of the major complaints I've seen about the fight is the Bond model.
It does look
a little stilted. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been having trouble putting my finger on what model are they using for Craig, because to my knowledge, maybe again, as far as I know, there were only 2 Craig games. One based off of Quantum of Solace, and one that is its completely own original game. And then there's another one where he appears. It's called 007 Legends, and there's also another one where he appears, but it's in first person. It's a remake of GoldenEye, the game. So, I guess if I had to take a shot in the dark at where they got this Craig model, I would assume it would have to be from Quantum of Solace, just because it does look like it came from that early Xbox 360, PS3 era.
Mm-hmm.
You're low. Hello? There you go.
Good.
Brobuscus?
I assume there's something going on in his end.
Yes,
Uh-oh.
we lost him. Damn it.
Alright. I'm gonna assume it's still recording, and if not, I'll just re-say this later. Honestly, though, like, I feel like the biggest issue I have, I mean, I feel like the most glaring issue I've seen everyone complain with is the mouth movement at the beginning, because, like, it's, because, like, out of everything else, I feel like just the mouth movement, it's a lot more SFM than any of the SFM or Blender fights we've had, if that makes sense. I think I compared it. Oh.
Wait, his icon stopped glowing?
You guys still there?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I had a Discord issue. This is probably gonna get cut, but I don't care. But yeah, it's mostly I saw an issue with the mouth movement at the
Can
beginning.
you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I kicked the plug. Gosh dang it.
Okay.
I kicked it loose. I need to move this freaking plug strip. I noticed. So I've been talking the whole time. Not gonna lie.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Has it been recording?
Yes, we're still recording. But
Well,
you
okay.
know what tipped me off? This is I'm just gonna say it. This is probably all going in the video because you made some points while I was trying to figure things out. What tipped me off is that I wasn't getting any feedback on OBS from my mic, so I was like, oh wait.
Oh, whoops.
So. I guess OBS couldn't hear me, so that's fine. But I guess that doesn't matter because I wasn't really saying anything much important.
All right. Well.
Okay,
But yeah.
So please continue.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, the most problematic thing I found, and I feel like that's going to be a shared opinion, is basically just Bond's mouth movement when he's talking at the start of the fight, because like that's a bit yeesh. I made a comparison in this in our little server chat when we talked about it. I think this sums it up best. It looks very TF2 SFME with its mouth movement, like the Team Fortress 2 SFM animations. Yeah. Which I mean, it's not it's not that big a deal in my opinion, but it's probably the roughest thing in the fight. But
I do agree. I feel like maybe they should have used another Craig model, or again, or maybe tested the mouth flaps with other James Bond models, because there is a Sean Connery model from a remake from Russia with Love. It's from the early 2000s, so it would probably look the same, look even more dated. But I would have just tested it out before using this model, because this does kind of stand out.
I think the reason they specifically went with Daniel Craig was because, it's probably the Bond that matches the best with John Wick, but also, because they had casted for that, so
that's fair. Yeah.
It would have felt weird for a Sean Connery Bond to sound like Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll get into that how you
Yeah.
could have fixed that later when we get into the voice acting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me
but-
personally, I think so the beginning of the fight does have a little bit of your typical Blender team jank, but I think things really pick up after the exploding cigarette.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It most definitely does.
I think I think everything from that point onwards is like, yeah, this is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
maybe they all could have just fixed it if they used a different model for Daniel Craig. Because again, there are lots of them. So
maybe, but I think it looks fine in movement at least. So maybe.
Yeah.
it does,
So-
yeah. But again, you're just these are just the problems you're gonna run into because again, these are the Blender guys. They don't have the resources necessary to create a whole new model, and the model that they end up using, it's not going to be great. It's going to be a 50-50 on whether or not it's going to match up with the current model. Me personally, I think how I would have fixed this is maybe improve the lighting situation, because that way at least the models looks better.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But again, yeah. So those 30
say,
seconds were rough.
I will say, super minor detail, I know, but something that does kind of distract me and bother me is that is the lighting outside the hotel.
Yes.
Because if you notice, when they're like at the beginning before the exploding pen, it's if you look out the windows, it's daylight out. But when they crash down and you see the Aston Martin, and oh my gosh, we're gonna get to the Aston Martin. It's nighttime out for no reason.
Whoops.
That makes no sense. Again, minor detail. I don't really care that much, but it is super distracting now that I know.
The pen was so the pen
Yeah.
was so powerful. It shifted day to night. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Headcanon. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
I will say this, and I think people are going a little bit overboard with this. I think this is much better than Shao Kahn versus Akuma, and more recently Predhead versus Predator. Predhead and Boba Fett. Excuse me. Again,
That's
Tanker
cool.
Store. I've been saying that. I said that in our last podcast. Anyway, it's been so long. I think it looks better than that.
I could agree.
I will admit, maybe it would have been better had they just handed this fight off to the Maya team, to the in-house Rooster Teeth team, because I think they could have made it even better.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But to be fair, the Maya team consists of who now? Because their three top dogs have all left.
Oh, whoops.
Well, fair enough, I guess.
Why do you think we haven't gotten any in-house fights in like a year?
That's fair. Oops.
Well, either way, I enjoyed this animation. I think it's very, very good, and it's in a bubble. It's good because it's clear that it's mostly referencing Bond and Wick in how they conduct themselves in a fight. You know, Bond is more with more gadgets and more flash, and then Wick, it's more up and personal and a lot of brawling and moves. And oh my god, like once we get past those first 30 seconds and you actually see the dynamic camera moves and you see them brawling, it's so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the German suplex. Good.
That suplex is so good.
That was so good.
Yes, and also the bit with the exploding pen, just both of them fighting over it, and then click, 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 and then
sorry,
to be honest, I've lost count.
Yeah.
Dude, that had me dying when I watched it. Oh my gosh.
Dry British humor.
Yeah.
Love it.
Above all else, I think what this fight excels at, even if it doesn't excel in the actual like animation department, what I think it really does well is the humor and the writing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it feels like it's a Wick and Bond crossover.
Yeah.
Both of these two are very in character.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about it, and I noticed it in the preview, but it just excelled more in the rest of the fight, is just the overall contrast between the two as characters. Like, you get Bond, and he's like, his dialogue is like, the stuff that he says is like, you are my target, I'm going to kill you. But the way he says it is like, hey, look over there, it's my new best friend.
Yes.
Whereas with Wick, it's kind of the opposite. Like the stuff he says is like, "Hey, look, it's my best friend," but his tone, the way he says it is like, "You die tonight."
Time for you to die.
Yes.
Which, I mean, that makes sense for. I think the greatest thing is that like Bond, like for Bond, like he looks like Daniel Craig and he sounds like Daniel Craig, but he acts like the other Bonds. He's a lot better in that regard.
Yeah, I very much get a Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton, and Roger Moore vibe from this Bond. Because even the way he moves, it doesn't. Because again, if you watch the Daniel Craig films, you know Bond does not. It's not even. It's until the fourth film Bond starts acting more confident. But in those first three films, he's not like this. Like in terms of his mannerisms, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I love that little detail that the animation did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
and then there's everything after the exploding pen. Okay. So,
yes, it's
so Bond goes in the Aston Martin. First off, the car looks amazing.
And you thought Death
Yes.
Race was no joking.
It's the same model from Death Race.
I know.
Oh, actually, on the note, anyone who's complaining that this isn't a live action fight, stop. Get some help.
They couldn't have done this part of live action.
They couldn't have done the machine gun part.
Do you know how much money and resources it would have took just to get the goddamn actual Aston Martin car from James Bond?
Yeah.
From the 007 films?
Would have been a lot.
Yeah. Not only that, but I mean, I know I'm jumping ahead, but the death too.
That too. Yeah.
Like, there's no way they could have done that in live action.
No.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so real quick, I don't know who animated this scene, but I want to know who put on Bond's little gizmo the like deja vu mode, and I want them to get a raise because that is amazing.
That's beautiful.
It's like Wick shoots the thing, and it's like deja vu mode activated or whatever it freaking says. And then the car just starts spinning.
And
Donuts for days. Donuts for days.
Donuts for days. That hotel floor probably got messed up.
Oh, probably.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, MI6 is gonna have to pay a hefty bill for that hotel.
Can you imagine the burned rubber on the floor there?
Oh gosh, yeah.
It's good. All the bullet holes everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I just love that they're. Okay, first off, the knife fight is super fluid.
Yes, yes,
absolutely.
Like, I love how they implement it's a knife fight, yeah, but it's also like they're at the same time they're avoiding the shots from the Aston Martin. I'm like, hey,
yes,
that's clever.
There's even more stakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like how like when it comes in at first, Wick's like, oh shoot, car, better point my gun at it. I'm like, yeah, that'll stop it. It's a freaking car that has no driver.
Well, that, and I'm
Good
pretty
job,
sure
Wick.
the car itself is bulletproof.
Well, yeah, but Wick has no way of knowing that.
That's fair. That's fair. But
I
yeah,
I mean, on one hand, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get like a car chase, so we could have got the Aston Martin versus the Mustang. But at the same time, I think I like this better anyway, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, because it implements the Aston. It's better to have the Aston Martin be here at all than not have it anywhere.
Well,
you know,
sure.
so
yeah, they had to include
that. Yeah, it's his most iconic gadget, in my opinion. That, and I feel like they even say this later on in the end analysis that even if they did have the Aston Martin against Wick's Mustang, there's no way in hell the Mustang would have been able to stand up.
Absolutely shredded.
Yeah, no, the Mustang would have gotten destroyed.
No way.
Boy.
Because if you ever do get around to watching the second film, if you do ever get around to watching John Wick series, ZDogg, in the second film, he goes back to get his car, and what he does with it is fucking awesome, but by the end of that first act, his car is destroyed. Even his mechanic is like...
Oh, dear.
Even his mechanic is like, I'm probably not going to have this done till Christmas.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So, whoops.
That's kind of the thing about the Mustang. It's like, it's a cool car, but it is still a car.
But it's still just a regular car. So.
It's also kind of a beater. It's an old car.
Yeah, it's like 67, I believe.
I think something like that. Meanwhile, the Aston Martin, it's an old car, sure, but it is bulletproof and has machine guns in it. So like,
yes,
yeah. And they even say in a tab that, like, Bond could have just like turtled up into the Aston Martin, just let it do the fight for him. Because there was no way Wick was getting past that.
Yeah.
No. And I also love the end climax.
Yeah.
Yes, and God, the end climax is so good. You obviously you get the iconic shots.
Iconic shot, of course.
Yeah. So many people thought that was like the end.
But nope.
Which would have been insane if it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the community server, which by the way is official now.
Yeah.
He was like all three of my guesses for the end kill have been blown through pretty quickly. Like I thought that, like at first I thought that would be the exploding pen, that got blown through pretty quickly. Then there was the muzzle shot.
Yes.
That got blown through. I thought the Aston Martin would kill him. It didn't. So it's like every single guess that people had for the end death was wrong, and I kind of love it.
What?
Yes, it shows, again, this all goes back to Liam and his great writing. I love it. And
well, not only that, but how much of a freaking juggernaut that John Wick is.
Yes,
this man powered through not one, not two, but 3 bullet shots.
Yeah.
They say that he's unstoppable. They say that he's unstoppable in the analysis, and they're right.
Yeah, it proves it showed him off.
Yeah. Although I did see a comment on another reactor's channel. When John was hit by the cigarette bullet that James shot him with, some suggest that could have been responsible for weakening the body armor.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. I see the logic, but nah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's how bulletproof armor works.
I don't know. I'm paraphrasing what they said, but they made it seem like, it was the cigarettes that started the foundation of weakening the armor.
I guess it could have burnt like the outside of it, sure, but the inside is still, bulletproof Kevlar. But all right.
Yeah, but anyway.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yes, and again, the actual end death is great because James just basically he shoves him onto the Ashton, and then uses his laser watch to hit the chandelier, and then the chandelier falls and crushes Wick.
The impact of that hit as well. Like, there's just you can just feel that chandelier dropping on John, and I'm like, oh gosh, no.
Yes.
Yeah, that chandelier, that also couldn't have been done in live action, but I just said that, so we're gonna mosey right along. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, why? So again, minor detail, I know, but it's kind of convenient that the Aston Martin just stops spinning once John lands on it. I don't know. That's just a tiny little thing. Again, completely redundant, but
whatever.
Still. Also, I like he gets like one little like, man, if you played a drinking game every time John said when watching through the John Wick movies, you probably die.
Oh no.
So don't do that. John Wick is not a man of many words.
Nope.
I will say, actually, speaking of words, I do. Well, I mean that's a weird transition, but I do like how they seem to know each other. At least they seem to be aware of their occupations. Like Bond calls Wick he calls him Baba Yaga. Wick mentions MI6. I'm like, hey, world building. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Neat.
It's sort of a Batman versus Iron Man sort of thing. It kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
I saw a comment on
that's cool.
I saw a comment on the Rooster Teeth site being like, "Well, Bond knew Wick. That Bond had like spies are all about prep time." I'm like, dude, really?
It's world building. Who cares? It's nothing else. Don't look too into.
He would have MI6 would have obviously prepped Bond about Wick and his occupation, because again, Bond goes there.
That's just a fight detail. That plays no factor into the analysis.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think people really need to. I feel like people should. This show's been going on for 11 years. How have people not realized at this point that the fights are just there? They're just
fun.
Fights.
But
I don't know.
Because again, the internet doesn't know what common sense is.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So.
Fair enough.
And again, going back to the ending, that shot of Wick's phone with a picture of his wife, and it just flickers and dies. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, gosh.
I'm already sad. Why do you make me even more sad?
Yeah.
Symbolism!
Yeah. So yeah, that's the fight. Overall, I'd say I said it in my reaction, but I think the Blender team understand that like hand-to-hand combat is not their strong suit, so they do everything. So everyone involved with their episodes do what they can to kind of work around that. Because like you see those first 30 seconds and it's rough.
It's the roughest I've seen. Like.
But like even in the preview, I'm like, okay, yeah, the animation's a little rough, but like the writing's really good, the voice acting is good. I'm digging the music, the set looks really cool.
Like it's just
I'm digging everything around. I'm digging everything that's around the animation.
It really is a case of okay. It literally is like a video game. It's like a dated video game.
I don't care. I don't care how bad it looks. I just want it to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the
And
graphics
it's a
are
variety of
outdated. The graphics are outdated, but does the story, voice acting, and gameplay still hold up? Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So I think it can just be, look, don't completely judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Again, yes, we've admitted that, yeah, the Blender team, and Brobuscus even said it again, the Blender team and hand-to-hand combat grounded fighters don't mix, but they still try to do what they can.
Now, I will give them credit. With each episode they do that has hand-to-hand combat, they get better.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's all about finding the right model and trying to make that model work with what they're trying to go for, or what the script is calling for.
Yeah.
Again, and everybody has said, oh, the James Bond model is right up there with Oni, Shao Kahn, and Batgirl's model from their previous episodes. It's like, I would actually say that this is slightly better than Shao Kahn and Oni's model, but yeah, it does have a little bit of that Batgirl jank.
I'm gonna get hounded for this, but I think people really need to lay off the Shao Kahn model. It's not that bad.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, look, I never liked that model to begin with, but it's like, that's just a me thing. That's just a preference thing. I hate that model with a burning passion, but at least they tried to do something with it.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, we're gonna mosey right along to the voice acting.
Yes.
So Stephen Kelly returns. Been a while.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, Stephen Kelly is Bond, Mortal, going back to back.
Yay.
John Wick. And then a little surprise cameo, our good old friend Liam Swan as Q.
Yes, I predicted that it would either be Liam or Billy that would be voicing Q.
Well, you were half right. So
I was half right. I will take that half technicality.
There you go. No, that simply sounded good, honestly.
Yeah, I dig it. I really like acting here.
I think for the second half, it's a good starting point because, again, like me and Brobuscus alluded to, James Bond is definitely a combination of all of his actors, but the main thing is Kelly is mostly what I can assume is a Daniel Craig impersonation.
Yeah.
But the way he delivers the lines, it sounds like it's all of the Bonds.
Yeah. Which I really do like that detail.
Yes, like
it's kind of a way of making sure you're aware that, like, hey, this may look like Daniel Craig, but it is every Bond.
Yes. Although I will say this, going back to what I was saying on how you could have implemented the Sean Connery model, in this, just have Stephen Kelly do a Sean Connery impersonation.
Well, you have to ask him, can he?
I mean, almost anyone can do Sean Connery's voice. It's not that very hard to do, young man, because I'm Bond, James Bond. It's not that hard to do. But again, that would have just been so awesome.
Says the totally professional voice actor here.
Oh, shut up. I can voice act, you know this.
Yeah.
I know.
I have talents.
I'm just pulling. I'm just messing with you.
No. All seriousness.
But you know who else?
Kelly was awesome.
But you know who else can voice act? Mortal. This guy goes.
Yes.
This guy goes from doing one of the best Quentin Flynn impressions I've ever heard to doing one of the best Keanu Reeves impressions I've ever heard. What the heck?
I think the best part about this impression, it's not trying too hard to be dead even. Dead sounding with Keanu Reeves' actual voice. There are people who can do that voice, but it just requires a lot of talent. But I do like Mono's more laid-back approach, and that actually kind of fits Wick, because Wick is a laid-back man of few words.
Yeah.
And I totally could see this working if they ever do another Wick video game. Just get Mono to do the voice.
Oh, they'd probably just get Keanu Reeves back. He is no stranger to voice acting.
Oh no, he's not. But I'm just saying, it's like Mono did such a great job. I want to hear more of him as Wick.
Well, I mean, it's not the same. I was gonna say, but I was gonna say if you ever get Neo, but that's not the same thing. Never mind. That's another Keanu.
I mean, it's still
okay. Well,
they could
well, now I'm hoping if Neo ever does get into the death battle, they bring back Mono to be Neo.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of insane to me that this guy is like. When I heard that it was Mortal, I was like, "What?" Because like we had just gotten off of his performance as Raiden. So we go from that. I guess it's maybe just because of like my bias for Raiden. But we go from that to this, and I'm like, the same guy. What? Like when I heard Bond's voice, I was like, okay, yeah, that's Stephen Keller because he sounds like Obi-Wan. But when I heard Wick's voice, I was like, I don't know who that is. And then Josh dropped on that cast that it was Mortal. I was like, huh? What? It's like this guy. I mean, no disrespect. I don't mean to be disrespectful to him, but I say this with utmost respect. Actually, like this guy's not even that much of a, as far as I know, he's not even that much of a professional voice actor. Like he does YouTube skits. That's kind of cool. But like he does a bunch of like Ace Attorney skits on his YouTube channel. That's kind of cool, but like, it's not on the same level as like voicing in an anime, for example, like every other voice actor in this show has.
Yeah.
But I say that, it's like, that kind of sounds like a backhanded compliment, but I'm really trying to make it so that it's not. Because like, that's true, but even still, he's able to do professional voice acting for characters like Raiden and John Wick.
Yeah.
So it's like, huh?
Yeah.
All right then, cool.
Yeah, good for him, honestly. So.
Yeah, no, straight up, and again, just I love these two and their banter and their interactions. It just sounded so genuine, and it just, aside from the jank, it made me feel like this could actually happen, because that's the one thing with most of the Death Battle episodes, it's rare that you get to feel like this could actually happen in real life. Like, if, like, 2 years ago, they probably could have had John Wick and Daniel Craig. I'm sorry, Daniel Craig Bond and John Wick, share a screen together.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, nowadays.
Yeah, but
nowadays Craig is out of it. But,
yeah, he's retired as Bond.
Well.
Unless he pulls a Sean Connery.
Yeah, but he won't.
And I respect that.
It really just begs the question of what's next for Bond. I've looked up several articles asking that exact question, and none of them have given me a straight answer. So,
it's gonna be a while.
That's fun.
Yes.
My mom is.
Although
I will say my mom is really confident that she heard that they were going to turn Bond into a woman. I'm like, yes, because that worked so well for Ghostbusters.
And yeah, no, don't.
So,
I wouldn't do that.
Hollywood, please don't do that.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of British talent you can get to be a new Bond. Honestly, if he wasn't in his, if he was much younger, I would say you could get Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan, to be James Bond.
Maybe. I saw one article say like if they wanted to like do like a sort of prequel series, they could get someone like Tom Holland, because he's British.
That could be interesting.
Or even better, why not? If we're gonna get a Spider-Man to play James Bond, why don't we get Andrew Garfield?
True. True. I keep forgetting that Andrew Garfield is British too. That I only hear him in Spider-Man, so.
That's fair enough. Or again, if he, or if we were gonna have a muscular Bond, have Henry Cavill be James Bond.
Oh, maybe. I saw someone say Idris Elba. I'm like, let's backpedal.
He's too blonde.
I have nothing but respect for Idris Elba, but please no.
Well, even he said, even Idris Elba said he's not interested in playing Bond.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be the Black James Bond.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, for one, I respect that, but also I kind of agree with him in a sense. This is gonna make me sound super. This is gonna sound super bad, but hear me out. It's like if they want to go with the idea of like every Bond is the same Bond except kind of sorta. Just kind of having like this like you look at the other Bond actors and like yeah they look different, but you can still like compile them together and say yeah that's James Bond.
Yeah.
I feel like in that regard, Idris Elba would kind of stick out.
Yeah, I get that.
he would. Yeah, no, he definitely would, unless he was in his own universe, like the Craig one. So it doesn't work. I'm sure whoever they'll get, I'll trust them, but I need to see their performance as Bond because, again, each Bond actor brings their own thing to the table. You know. That and the Bond estate is very, very picky, so I don't think they would want Idris Elba as Bond.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Again, nothing but respect for Idris Elba. I loved him in Sonic 2, which, by the way, go watch Sonic 2. That movie's amazing.
Seconded.
The third movie cannot come out any sooner. It's actually funny that I mentioned that because hashtag Keanu Reeves for Shadow. Anyways, anywho, and then there's the music, Secret Service.
It works for the episode, and that's the best I can say about it.
I think the second half of it is really good. Like when the horns start kicking in, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm actually like bopping my head listening to this. Oh gosh.
Werewolf Aaron from Werewolf Media actually did. I can tell he snuck in hints of the James Bond theme in there.
Yeah.
Like I love the use of horns in this episode. It feels like it's more. There are some moments where it does feel like it's Wick, but most of it is Bond.
Yeah.
My only real problem with the track is that, well, for one, the first half of it is kind of slow, but that's besides the point. My other problem is that it doesn't, for me at least, I know this completely contradicts what Richard just said, but it doesn't really feel Wick to me. It just feels very like, and I think Aaron even commented on this. It's like the director asked for like some silent parts in the music to kind of have the character moments, the sound effects do all the talking, that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, most of that happened when Wick was doing something cool.
Yeah.
The music really only goes that hard for when Bond does something cool, or during pretty much the entire scene with the entire moment with the Aston Martin.
That's fair. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but I could hear some little things that sounded like, okay, that actually does feel like it's somewhat trying to be Wick, but it's a very small percentage. it's mostly Bond, and it's mostly quiet moments, so you are correct.
I guess I mean there isn't really much more to discuss with this music, so I'm just gonna mention something about the episode as a whole before we move on to the next one.
Yes.
Is that I've heard a complaint I have heard, and I'm curious what you guys think about this. Is that the episode to a lot of people feels too Bond centric. It's like Bond. It's not Bond versus Wick. It's Bond featuring Wick.
I mean, I kind of understand.
Okay.
Well,
I alluded to this very early, so I'm just gonna say this right now. Do I feel like this episode was more Bond centric in its layout? Yes, I do. But it's not like Wick didn't have anything. Yeah. It's just the problem is, in my opinion, they clearly Liam and the crew, they clearly have to decide how they're going to handle this in terms of setting this episode up. And in my opinion, just focusing on Liam here, not the other crew. Liam, in his writing, made it seem like he was intentionally going more for Bond than he was for Wick. Just because
he was Bond's lead researcher, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he is a huge.
It just feels like. Go ahead. Oh yeah, no, trust me. Yeah, that even if you didn't tell me that, I could figure that out just because it kind of feels like it's bleeding into the writing. So
I will say
I do think it is unfair. Go ahead. I'll let you.
For me, like I can understand where that's coming from, but do I okay. I will say I don't agree with the idea that it is Bond featuring Wick.
No.
That makes it seem like they didn't make Wick out to be that cool. When in his analysis they did nothing but praise the man and hype him up. In fact, honestly, I'd kind of argue they hyped up Wick more than Bond in the analysis. It's like Bond won, but there wasn't really much in Bond's analysis that was like this man is unstoppable. This man is a force of nature.
No. I mean,
whereas Wick, that was all of it. Plus, like in the episode, he does cool stuff. He steals the freaking pen from Bond.
Yeah, he does. He puts the Aston Martin in deja vu mode. He stabs him in the shoulder with a knife. I mean, he had two opportunities to kill him whenever he wanted, but he got outsmarted by Bond. So Brobuscus is hitting the nail on the head here. This is not Bond featuring Rick. It is an even crossover. Because if it was, then I would have to call Liam out on that, because it feels like he is going too far with his bias for Bond. But I cannot sit here and say there isn't any bias for Bond, because there is.
Well, sure.
And I feel like that all comes down to the fact that they, again, when they came up with this episode, they could have just done the simplest thing and had Craig Bond versus Wick. Because Craig Bond has 5 films, 2 video games, and that's it. And same thing with Wick. It would have been more even, and I feel like the winner could essentially be, like a coin toss. It's 50-50. But because because this is a compilation Bond, this automatically made it worse in Wick's favor, and it feel like the winner was dictated easily.
I mean, okay, I'll be fair. I don't really think so. The whole compilation thing making it seem unfair. I don't really think that's anyone's fault. like there's just so much of Bond.
Yeah.
That you like it's gonna feel stilted in a way. Like
Yes.
even if Bond had lost, I feel like everything. I don't feel like anything would have changed as far as like it being Bond centric or the whole thing.
No.
Even if he had lost.
No, and again, the main counter argument to what I'm saying that I've heard is, oh, well, if they just used Craig Bond, then they would have gotten complaints regardless, saying, well, if you use all the other Bonds, then Wick would have lost. And to that, I still say, I don't mean to belittle Bond in the Versus community, but nobody really gives that much of a shit about him because he's not Goku, he's not Superman, he's not a popular character within the Versus community. If I really just had to say it and be blunt about it, Wick is actually way more popular than he is in terms of putting him in a matchup. You know, yes, Bond is iconic, but his films are mostly remembered by people before our generation. We grew up with the Daniel Craig Bond, but people before us grew up with another Bond, and the one before that, another Bond, etc., etc. So, I think, in my opinion, the one valid thing that people are hitting the nail on is it was very unfair for it to be a compilation. It was very unfair to be 60 years of Bond in the books, the movies, and the video games on top of that, against a Wick who only has 2 games, 3 films, and a comic book. That's it. If Wick, that's why I said it would have been better if they just waited. Because who's to say in the 4th film, Wick is now going to have some impressive gadget that's going to put James's gadgets to shame. We don't know because the film's not out yet. So I can agree with people on that front. And I even echo those statements myself. I think that Wick, for his first death battle, I wanted him to have an even fight. And really, if I look at this, it's not an even fight. It's a complete stomp in Bond's favor. But I still loved Wick being here regardless, because his character is awesome, and it's just more emotionally investing to get behind Wick as a film fiction character than it is Bond, because Bond is, generally speaking, before the with the exception of the Pierce Brosnan films, Bond is kind of a piece of shit. He's not somebody you should look up to. He's legit just a guy who sees women as objects, and he doesn't give 2 craps about you. He's just there to get the mission done. That's it. Sleep with a woman, and rinse, repeat. At least with Wick, he has growth, and he's a man who has lost everything, and he's just trying to do his best.
Yeah.
So that's my statement.
I feel like the people saying that like this is Bond featuring Wick is kind of belittling the work that went into Wick in this episode.
Yes.
It's like we said, he gets cool stuff in the fight, and they hype him up to the upteenth degree in the analysis. So it's like I feel like that's kind of like, I mean, sure, I guess like Bond having more stuff does kind of hurt things, I guess, but like to say that to say that Wick didn't do anything cool would just be telling me that you didn't actually watch the episode.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, like even the way he died was like it was depressing, but it was kind of awesome.
Yeah, because
that
that's
kind of shows that like a chandelier, like 3 gunshot wounds in the chest, mind you, didn't kill him. but getting slammed into a car and having a chandelier fall on him did. It's like,
yeah,
Bond needed this giant metal object that was like 5 stories high, falling straight down to kill this man.
Plus, I mean, the following shot, you see Bond relieved and finally just let himself breathe. It feels like he literally feels like he went through a war of attrition just to kill this man.
Yeah.
So it's not like this was a cakewalk for Bond. No, Wick made him work for the kill.
Yeah. It also feels kind of counterintuitive, I guess is the word I'm trying to look for. For people to say that it's like, it's Bond featuring Wick, and then go back and say that they still would have preferred Bond versus Bourne. Now, granted, my knowledge on Jason Bourne is very limited, but from what I've gathered, Bourne feels more like, and they said this on one of their fireside chats, like why they went with Wick and not Bourne was because like Bond pulls out a gadget, but Wick pulls out another gadget to match. Bond pulls out his trusty little compressed pistol. Wick pulls out like a Glock or something. Bond has the Aston Martin. Wick has the Ford Mustang. We don't see the Ford Mustang, but the point still stands. For Bourne, it would have been like Bond pulls out a gadget, Bourne throws a punch. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds boring.
There is truth to what they're saying, but even then, they make it sound like they haven't done those kind of matchups before.
I mean, sure. And they say like immediately after that, Bond versus Bourne would still be a cool fight that they might do in the future. Because that's another thing. These two, especially since they're both still ongoing, and Bond's probably going to exist as a character for like the rest of time. Like both of these two are absolutely coming back at some point.
No. I do. I think so as well. Look, overall, because I'm a huge Daniel Craig Bond fan and a Sean Connery Bond fan, and I am a fan of the Wick films, this fight hit home for me just to see these two together. And yes, this episode has a lot of flaws in it, research and animation-wise, but again, it just goes back to what we said. It's like a dated video game. It doesn't compare to the best-looking video game on the planet, but the story, the voice acting, and the gameplay, those can still hold a candle to anything going on right now.
Yeah. Well, this fight isn't beating like Boba Fett versus Predator in terms of visuals, but like it's still probably a more fun fight to watch. This is coming from someone who really likes Boba Fett versus Predator. So
I preach. So
although in saying all that, I think people say Bond versus Bourne. I actually think Bourne versus Wick sounds better.
Yeah, a little, but yeah. We'll see what happens in the future.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we should move on.
We should.
Yes, we should.
Do you want a tease fight? No? Good, because here's a tease fight for you.
Yep. And back to more comic matches. Woo!
I guess you could say. I guess we're looking at a black apocalypse here.
Oh, that's a pun. That's a combination of names.
Sure.
Wait
a minute. What's that sound?
It's not midnight as we're recording. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Wait a minute. What is that sound? It sounds like Biff Weed is having a stroke. I'll have to go resuscitate him.
Can I hear him yelling from across the planet?
It sounds like
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
He died.
Great. I'm gonna have to pull out the Biff Lee cloning machine. I mean, what? What was that?
Oh my gosh.
You all didn't hear shit. You all didn't hear anything. Anyway, yeah.
So this episode is it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson versus Oscar Isaac. I mean it's Black Adam versus Apocalypse.
Yes, the legendary Apocalypse X-Men Marvel Comics. Let's go.
Yes. Although it would kind of be sad to see The Rock versus Oscar Isaac because nobody can take down Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No one can take down. No one can take down The Rock.
Absolutely.
Not even box office. But we shall see. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Anyway, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Also, too, apparently we're in Bizarro World because people are actually excited about this.
What
happened to the community? Okay, we need to make sure every one of them's okay. They're excited for a common fight. What the hell is this?
No, straight up. But I think if I check my little summary notes here, here we go. It's because they in unison did not like James Bond versus John Wick, so seeing a DC versus Marvel fight immediately rejuvenated them.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
Sure.
He's not exaggerating though. Why are people okay? I mean, I'm excited for this fight, but I mean,
I'm kind of excited.
Why are people excited for? Why are people excited for this? And yet, look at fights like Lex versus Doom and Batman versus Iron Man. Don't answer the like. I know what the obvious answer is. Don't answer that. And think this is trash. But then they look at this. Like, why? Where was all this for Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna? I like that fight, but like, why?
Yeah. No. What the fuck?
Yeah, the series is weird sometimes. I think we're just right now. So.
Oh, I see how it is. All you misogynistic assholes. When two Marvel and DC women fight, it's a problem. But when the men do it, it's
okay. Let's stop. Because I mean, what you're saying is absolutely hilarious. But there's a bit of a weird Wanda thing going on Twitter about that. So let's not.
Gosh, of course there is, but yeah, whatever.
Damn you, Twitter, ruining my punchlines.
Anyway,
dude, freaking! This is totally not related, but Twitter is like going off like, debating Wanda, like the Scarlet Witch versus Superman.
Oh my gosh!
Like, okay, first off, why?
That's still going.
Second off, apparently anybody who says that Superman wins is deemed sexist, and I'm like, well, maybe they just actually believe that Superman wins.
I hate the internet sometimes.
I mean, sometimes. I hate the internet every day. And I live here. I essentially live here.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, no. So
let's talk about the fight that's actually good.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Would you say that this is a long requested fight?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have seen this fight requested since season 2.
Yeah.
That is fair.
So I would say this is a long requested fight.
This fight was long requested back when Dwayne The Rock Johnson was still trying to get his Black Adam movie off the ground.
Well,
how old this fight is.
And hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually happening. So
there you go. I have to wonder why. I mean, this is totally not related to the fight, but I have to wonder how that whole thing about The Rock being Black Adam came about. Because you look at it and you're like, okay, on one hand I like The Rock, but on the other hand, why?
Well, believe it or not, he's been attached to the Black Adam project since 2008.
Oh wow!
Good lord. Okay.
And he has been fighting for. Yeah. he's been attached to the character in the movie for over, like close to 2 decades at this point.
Thank gosh.
It's the one DC character and comic book character in general he's been adamant he wanted to play.
Adamant. Gosh dang it.
Thank you, Discord delay.
But yeah.
Anyways.
Good for him. He's finally getting to play it after all these years.
So who's the aspiring actor that wants to play Apocalypse? Because it's not Oscar Isaac.
I mean, to be fair, if you had to be an X-Men Apocalypse, I don't think you would want to be Apocalypse.
You know what? That's a good point. I still haven't seen that movie.
I wouldn't recommend it.
So I've heard. In fact, I remember when the movie came out. It wasn't. It was Liam when he was on that old Death Metal podcast with Wolf and Star. He mentioned when it came out that he saw a review on the movie that straight up called it, and I quote, a franchise-killing disaster.
Ouch.
I mean, whoever wrote that quote was not wrong.
Oof. When
freaking Logan and Deadpool 1 and 2 are better than the last 2 X-Men films combined, there's a problem here.
Yeah, or even better, Fox.
Or even better, when Deadpool is the best X-Men film, you have a problem.
That's a problem.
Yikes.
I like Deadpool as much as that guy, but
that's a bit of a yikes.
Deadpool should not be the best thing the X-Men have going for them right now. Anyway, so yeah.
Does anybody know Apocalypse? No? Good. All right. We're gonna have a lot of fun here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of fun because I get to explain the power basics of how Apocalypse works.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Oh wait, I should. Yeah. Good old Ansabanora.
Yep. Everybody knows who this guy is. It's not like he's actually one of the first mutants in the history of ever.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising that he has not been adapted much at all.
No, because he's essentially to the mutant kind, he's their dark side. That's the best way I can put it.
I was about to say if the MCU wasn't pushing Kang the Conqueror right now, if they wanted to bring in the X-Men, Apocalypse could be the next Thanos.
Yeah,
he could.
That's how much of a big deal this guy is. But nope, they're pushing Kang the Conqueror instead, which is fine. He could be the next Thanos. I don't care. I still remember everybody saying like the next Thanos should be like Doctor Doom or Galactus, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, but
yeah. So.
I mean, they got some Fantastic Four representation in Doctor Strange, but that's the last I'm going to talk about that for now.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, so what's y'all experiences with these characters? Oh, you don't have any? Cool. No, I'm just kidding. To be clear, my experience with Black Adam is Injustice.
Same. It is that. Same here. Whereas AI was cheap as crap. I hate finding on the first game so much.
Thankfully, I have more rounded experience with good old Teth Adam. That's his actual name. So yeah, good old Tethy. I had experience with him when I first saw the Superman and Shazam. Yes, old Tethy. When I saw the Superman and Shazam animated film back in 2011, I believe. And yeah, I thought, oh, cool. So he's the dark version of Captain Marvel, and I'm going to be calling Billy's alter ego Captain Marvel. So fuck off with all of you Carol fans out there. Anyway, oh wait, Carol doesn't have fans. Never mind, we're good.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Shots fired.
I said she doesn't have fans. Anyway, yeah, no, I thought he was cool. Even and then I of course saw his appearances in Justice League Action and Batman: Brave and the Bold, and of course I did play him in Injustice 1 and 2, and yeah, ZDogg is right. His AI was cheap as shit.
To be fair though, in the stories at least, I mean, not less so in Justice 1, but in Justice 2, he's a boss. I really like Black Adam in Injustice 2. So he's got that going for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah, he does.
His freaking super is still raw though.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. And then Apocalypse, I have nothing.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the norm.
Does that count for anything?
I mean, I can't remember where I first encountered Apocalypse, but I know I knew of him. I didn't have a big exposure to him.
I honestly think my first exposure to this character was seeing this fight get requested. And then, we had X-Men Apocalypse come out, and I'm like, oh, I mean, I guess I've heard of this guy before. So there's that. Yeah, my knowledge going into it is a little limited. I mean, at least we have the DBX to back up. At least we have the DBX to back up on.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, we do.
A very solid DBX. Right.
Another DBX upgraded to a death battle, and it was a good DBX. So for
a very good.
It was a good DBX. Great DBX.
I actually, on the topic of DBX, just because, I actually went back and rewatched Black Adam versus Goku Black.
Oh boy.
Don't.
I wasn't planning on it.
Noted.
It's not that good. One thing I think is kind of interesting though, comparing the two DBXs, because for Adam versus Goku Black, it uses voice clips from Injustice 1. For Adam versus Apocalypse, it uses voice clips from Injustice 2. And though that fact, combined with the fact that he beat Apocalypse but lost to Goku Black, kind of makes it seem like Adam versus Apocalypse is kind of showing how much of a boss this character actually is. Whereas the last one was like, yeah, I mean, he's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's so weird to me that the two games have him voiced by the same guy, because they do not sound the same at all.
No, they don't.
No. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
also the excessively British Goku Black still is very distracting.
Of course.
It's like I have no problem with with a British accent, but Goku Black's British accent in that fight was strong. I'm like, oh gosh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Thank you, fighters. Or is it fighters or Xenoverse?
I think it was Xenoverse.
Yeah. It was Xenoverse. Damn Xenoverse 2.
Well, point still stands.
Yeah.
And again, actually, more specifically, thank you, Sean Schimmel, because that was Sean Schimmel's choice. That wasn't the director's. Sean Schimmel just decided to give him a British accent.
Oh, great. That makes me feel so much better.
What the? Okay, we're getting to the topic, but why? Anyway.
No, so yeah.
Also, that fight has, no sound design, which is fun.
Yeah, so... Okay.
Yeah, stick to the Apocalypse DBX. That one's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you can tell where our biases lie on this one.
Yeah. No. Okay. I guess I'll just
good old Tethy.
talk about it.
That's the name of this podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
We stand good old Tethy in this house.
that's the title of this podcast, by the way.
Oh gosh.
Um,
So yeah.
So it's kind of weird then that I'm actually super looking forward to this fight. Because like
Yeah, I know,
don't
right?
really give much of a crap about either of
Same.
these two, but
Yeah,
I'm still chilling. I think this still could be a really cool fight.
yeah, it sounds cool. It seems like a very cool idea from what I've heard of it. So, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. So, yeah.
Me too. Obviously, it's got to be a sprite fight, so I'm looking forward to seeing
Obviously.
what they do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I am also just very. I don't know why. Maybe it is because of the film and Apocalypse getting better exposure, but I am excited to see these two together and fighting to the death.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot you can do for both of them. I mean, Black Adam is basically evil Shazam, so.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got that going for him. And then Apocalypse.
Yeah, and
Apocalypse can do basically anything. This man is overpowered.
I'm gonna have so much fun telling you all how Apocalypse is basically so broken in the X-Men universe.
Oh, fun.
Also, I dropped this earlier. Well, actually, I dropped it before we started recording. But this is Tiki Rates for Death Battle Part 2.
Yay! We'll love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. He's also the lead researcher on Adam. So there's that.
Okay. I
So,
know he's gonna knock it out of the park. He always does.
Definitely.
Well then, who is researching good old Ansabanora?
That would be our good old friend Akuma.
Hey.
Ooh.
Nice. Is this
our
first?
our resident Marvel expert? It seems like the man researches so much. Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's neat.
Very neat.
But also, yeah, I mean, this is also Biffweed.
The inside joke matchup.
Totally not totally unironic. Dream fight.
Yes. Unironically, this is his Blake versus Mikasa.
Yeah.
And Jack versus Afro. And Spyro versus Crash.
Gosh.
And in case anyone's wondering why he's not here, it's Monday and it's midnight. Leave us alone.
Yep. Time
Yeah.
is a break.
Exactly.
Who
Who knows? Maybe I can get him to do a cameo for us. It's the best I could do.
We'll see.
My question is, who's going to voice these two? Because I honestly have no idea.
I
don't know. I'm just gonna throw a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say Gianni Montegrano as Black Adam.
I was actually thinking that, like, just scrolling through voice actors in my head, like, maybe Gianni.
Yeah, maybe.
And then for Apocalypse, it would be weird if they got Stephen Kelly again.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time a voice actor goes back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Apocalypse usually has a deep voice, so I think Steven can do it. Boomy, yes, boomy voice. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I am drawing a blank. It would.
Trying to think who has had like really deep voice roles for the show, and who would be able to fit that.
I think I saw someone say Justice Washington, the guy who played Thanos.
Oh yeah, that could work actually. That sounds neat. That sounds like it could be fitting. So
maybe.
I would like that. So.
And then there's a soundtrack. What soundtrack? Moving on.
Yep.
All right. Well, it's time to get the elephant out of the room. I guess.
Oh boy. Who we winning?
Who? Well, no, not that.
No, not that. No. The other elephant.
The other thing. The little problem that this episode went through before it even got announced.
Oh yeah, whoops.
What day?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to say that I don't think this was anyone's fault, but I don't want to make assumptions. So
it's probably just YouTube's fault.
Probably.
So.
If all else fails, blame YouTube. So I don't know what happened. So okay, so everybody knows, they get people to make their original soundtracks. They get Brandon or Therawolf. And what happens is, so they send them, what the fight looks like, a kind of sequence of events, an animatic, if you will. And just be like, here's what the fight's like. Go crazy. And they're like, okay, so they make the track, they get everything done, and then they send it to them, and then they send it to a bunch of music sites. Your YouTubes, your iTunes, your Apple Musics, that kind of stuff. And that's how they get uploaded basically automatically. It's like you see all those Brandon Yates topic, the Therawolf Media topic, whatever. That kind of stuff. They're bots. They're all bots. Well, one of those bots decided to do a oopsie no and decided just randomly to upload the music track for this fight before Bond versus Wick even came out.
Yeah, wasn't it before even Wick's preview?
Yes.
Something like that, I think.
Whoops. Yep.
So,
YouTube's a great website sometimes.
Fantastic, even. Thankfully, I can't believe I'm about to praise the fact that they get blocked when they get uploaded. But they do get blocked when they get uploaded in almost every country ever. Unless you live in obscure country.mp4. Or you have a VPN, which, yeah. And they get unblocked at around midnight time locally. Thankfully, someone caught wind of it pretty quickly. And at the moment, while the video is unlisted, it is still blocked. I know because I was sent the link. And let me just check real quick. This is probably if it's not blocked, this is gonna play on camera, and I don't want that. But oh well, we're taking that risk. Yep, still unavailable.
Yep.
So unlisted perhaps, but still, that's bad.
Yeah. Not gonna fault anyone for that. It's whatever, but you know.
I mean, to be fair, if anyone remembers, when we were waiting for Lee versus Sanji, the track for that released before the track for Batgirl Spider-Gwen did.
True. True. Yeah, I mean, it could have. I mean, at least I guess. Well, actually, no, it's worse. But like,
Oh
just,
no, it's worse because in that sense that was when we were waiting. No, it wasn't during. It wasn't during the 3-week wait. All right, never mind. Even still, it was after that episode launched.
well, just
It was
Yeah.
after. It was still after Batgirl Spider-Gwen. So season 7 leak aside, we don't need to talk about that.
Yep.
We at least didn't know that fight was coming up until the end of Batgirl Spider-Gwen. For this fight, though, no such luxury apparently.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, at least we did at least have the teaser video, which we'll be talking about after this. Stay tuned.
Yes. Yes.
We at least knew Black Adam was coming, but like.
Yeah, and it was like freaking duh, he's fighting Apocalypse.
Yeah. But still.
Mhm.
Whoops.
Still, that's something that should not have been done. I don't know what happened. I don't want to throw blame at anybody.
Yeah.
Because chances are this is a freak accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like we said, when in doubt, blame YouTube.
True.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. So we know what the track is called. We know what the album cover looks like. We know who made it. And also because it's spread on YouTube, we know what it sounds like because we all decided to take a listen to it.
Yep.
And are we going to talk about any of that? No. Tune in next time.
Yep. You have to wait till next time. Yay. Incentive to watch the next episode. We.
You get your mention here, and now we're moving on. Who's winning this fight? Because I have no idea.
Okay, now who's winning this fight? Freaking out.
All right. Well, I'll let both of you decide before I give my answer with research that I have to back it up.
Well, I'm going to meta argue real quick. Because this is our second Marvel vs. DC fight this year. I know, crazy concept. I know. Yeah, a lot of people are still reeling over season 7 being half Marvel or DC. Y'all need to take a chill pill. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, I'm going to compare it to the last fight, Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna, and say that on one hand, I think Black Adam's going to win because the last time, because when I said I don't know who's winning, Wanda Zatanna, the DC character won. But alternatively, I'm also thinking that Apocalypse is going to win because I ended up going with the popular consensus on the last fight, which was Wanda wins, and she lost. The consensus this time is that Adam wins. So, what do I think? I think it's a freaking draw. No, I'm just kidding.
The winner is Metal Sonic. Game over.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
The winner is Goku. Finally.
Oh my god. Dear gosh. Yeah, I mean.
The winner is Biffweed. He just rolls up in his car and runs over both of them.
Yeah.
I joke, but I kind of want to see him cameo somewhere.
They see me rolling. They hating.
Please put the car of the Galaxy Grudge Match profile picture of him in there somewhere. That'd be so funny.
It's like a hieroglyph on a pyramid or something. I mean, they did put Gumball and Red Runner in Steven vs. Star. And
apparently Biff is actually on the team's radar, so I guess it's not impossible.
DJ and him are also good friends, so
yeah. Also Nemesis and Core vs. Storm, don't forget that.
Yeah, but
yes.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay. I can't argue with that. Yeah, I want to though because I don't like that fight. But
well, too bad.
Rip me. All right. If you had to hold me at gunpoint and ask me who I think wins, I'd probably go with Black Adam.
Same here. I mean,
but like, so the way I always saw it, the way I've always heard it is that Adam outstats but Apocalypse out haxes. And let's not forget that Apocalypse's regeneration is, yeah.
He also has next level immortality.
True.
And let me also just say this, because someone's going to say, oh, well, Black Adam is immortal. Yes, but it's not that kind of immortality. Basically, Black Adam's Shazam form, let's just call it that, is immortal. He can never age or die from naturally when he's in that form. Same thing with Billy. So their human forms can grow old and be close to withering, but if they don't want to die, they can just switch to their Shazam forms, and they can essentially look the same for years, because Black Adam is millions of years old, or not even millions, sorry, excuse me. He's thousands of years old, because he does come from the Egyptian times, so he's an old guy. So, but he can still be killed fairly easily. I mean, okay, in one instance, this is the most popular thing I can think of. A pissed off Superman that came back from recharging the sun, that heard Wonder Woman getting stabbed by Lex Luthor, comes in, and Black Adam attacks him, and I shit you not, Superman just hardens his skin so much that Black Adam's fists do nothing,
that sounds wrong.
It does, yes, but okay, just go with it. Get your mind out of the gutter. And he essentially he catches Black Adam's fist, and he gives him a lobotomy.
Fun.
Oh.
So Black Adam is not invincible. He's immortal, but he can be killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be fair, Apocalypse is kind of in a similar boat.
I mean, at one point, yes, he was in a similar boat, but again, he has essentially a new body that gives him hacks levels of immortality, and the same thing with his armor. So he has multiple hacks to get around. He cannot die via conventional means. And
also, this man wears celestial armor, apparently.
Yes, and I'll also... Alright, let me just get into it. Sorry, go ahead.
If anybody remembers how powerful the Celestials are, oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah, so let me just get into it. I'm going for Apocalypse. I think Apocalypse is going to take it.
Okay.
And here's my reasoning why. Yes, Black Adam does outclass him in the physical stats. This is true. But Black Apocalypse outclasses him in just bullshit hacks. One of his bullshit hacks is he has biomolecular control over his body, and what this means is he can alter his bio cells to essentially give him any superpower he wants. He can adapt to any situation by changing his molecular structure to essentially give him powers. He can also shapeshift his hands into various blunt weapons. It can be anything. And there's also the fact of he has celestial projection, so he can fire beams of celestial energy. And the most important thing is he can absorb energy and magic. And what is Black Adam? Okay, so I'll just say it. Black Adam's main method of attacks involves magic and energy projection. So essentially, Black Adam is just feeding Apocalypse more power. So I think, and again, he has a lot more bullshit in his corner. Again, you know, he has force fields. He has telepathic control and manipulation. He has he has Cyber Panthy, which allows him to control any cyborg electric mechanical stuff. And of course, he has immortality. And then he also has blood interface, which essentially he has Apocalypse's techno blood has a lot of properties. A single drop of his blood can essentially give him new life. So let's say if Black Adam kills Apocalypse, and a drop of blood lands on Black Adam will essentially turn into a new Apocalypse.
Well, fine.
So he can M. Bison him to death.
Mm.
And then, of course, there's also the other type of stuff as well. And a lot of people like to say that he's not as powerful as the other mutants, but he actually is. He's created the Four Horsemen, which do involve popular X-Men characters. Hell, Magneto was a horseman at points.
Right.
And he can also, again, change his size. That's one of the other abilities that he often uses with his bio powers. He can alter his size to where he can be as tall as like 8 feet, or he can just be so big he encompasses the whole planet.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, and then again, I also have to bring up that let's say the killing blow is essentially Adam he grabs him, lifts him up, and then yells Shazam, and he thinks that's going to kill him. All that's good. This is essentially going to be, as Your Only Mate put it, it's going to be it was Your Only Mate or Kira that brought this up. It's essentially going to be like Carol versus Billy, where Adam can just be transformed back into Teth Adam with Apocalypse's Shazam gathered energy.
Which I do want to see that in the fight, FYI. I think that'd be cool. Anyway, go on.
Or let's just say Black Adam doesn't use energy because he figures out if he keeps throwing energy, he's just going to make him more stronger. He just punches him to death. Which they did say that, Billy's punches are equivalent to a black hole. Yeah. So he could just punch him so hard that he just kabooms. But again, since Apocalypse is an Omega level mutant, and he has actually survived hits from both Thor and the Hulk, who are way past black hole feats, I'm pretty sure that he can tank the hit.
I mean, at the same time, and me and ZDogg discussed this while you were getting ready. Black Adam is one of the many DC villains that have soloed the Justice League.
Yeah. So.
Okay, yes, he has. But to be fair, for just 1 second, who hasn't soloed the Justice League? I mean, Joker soloed the whole Justice League with just a laughing gas bomb.
Also true, I guess. But
so it's not like he's anything special. Now, because again, as I said, Black Adam is very powerful stat-wise. And also to counter-argue that, if Black Adam could solo the whole Justice League, well then so could Billy. Yeah. Because again, him and Billy can both scale to each other. They both have the powers of Shazam. So, I think that Apocalypse is just way more impressive on the grounds that he has ways to adapt and get around the fact that he's physically outmatched by Black Adam. Whereas Black Adam, his mentality, very much like Billy's, is punch things really hard, throw lightning, use magic. If they were to encounter, and again, Batman has been able to get around Black Adam before as well.
That's true.
And Black Adam's main weakness is his hubris. He is a bit of a cocky fighter.
Oh, let's not pretend that Apocalypse isn't either.
I know, but again, it's just a matter of his arrogance is only going to get him so far.
It's a tough one.
It seems like a very... I mean, I don't know, because it is a good point that Black Adam Apocalypse could absorb Black Adam's main thing of power. I don't know. Because, like, I
don't mean to keep hammering it in, but I'm telling you, Black Adam essentially, if he figures out that magic is not going to work against Apocalypse, then that just shuts down one of his main method of attacks, and he just has to hope that he can punch him and hard enough to where he'll die. But even if he does, let's say he just dismantles Apocalypse, there's a chance that if Apocalypse's blood gets on him, if even a single drop of blood gets on Black Adam, he essentially becomes a new Apocalypse, and therefore Apocalypse wins by default.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Is it possible for Apocalypse's energy absorption to be overwhelmed? Because if Black Adam is that much stronger, then it's possible that that much energy could overwhelm Apocalypse and essentially vaporize him.
Well, again, because Apocalypse has celestial armor and immortality, and the fact that I don't think so, but also too, there's the other fact that on Sabanora just has way too many. His biomolecular powers are completely broken. So, and he is immune from typical reality warping erasure. So, if he's immune to being erased from reality, then what good is vaporizing him gonna do? Plus two, who's to say that he couldn't just... here's an example. Because he can just give himself any power he sees fit, who's to say that if Black Adam does trying to overwhelm him with so much energy, who's to say that Apocalypse doesn't just get the power of invisibility or phasing, and he just phases through the energy? Because he was able to duplicate and go against Kitty Pryde, that's her main power, is she can absorb through organic material, and he was able to match her and compete with her. So if he could do that to her, then who's to say he couldn't just use her powers?
Hold on, I think I just found something.
Okay, this is really interesting.
I'm gonna post it in our DB chat. This is an interesting feat. I'll probably put it on screen, but
Okay.
The text is a little small. Essentially, what's happening is that Black Adam is essentially hurling through the multiverse, and it says so from beginning to end. So as in the beginning, there was the Word, and now the last of an ancient wizard's power, wrapped up in that word, sends Tethy Adam hurtling through the multiverse, through the time stream and the Speed Force, disrupting the fundamental fabric of the Omniverse. So
this is impressive, and I do think this does a good job of giving him potential multiversal levels of durability, But
as well as basically immeasurable speed. You're not breaching the Speed Force. It's impossible.
I mean, well, again, one of Apocalypse's abilities is he does have superhuman speed, and who's to say he couldn't match it? But you could be right.
Okay, I'll be fair. Like, given how OP Marvel can be in terms of speed, we literally just had Thor scaling to Ares, who can react within plank time. So like,
yeah. And
saying,
let me remind you, Apocalypse threw hands with Thor at one point.
This is true. This is very true.
Dude.
But plank time and moving faster than the Speed Force are two different things.
Okay, so I found something that's also interesting. Apparently, Apocalypse was given the Death Seed by the Celestials, and let me just say this: the Death Seed essentially gives the user cosmic powers that are on par with the Phoenix Force.
Oh dear.
You gotta love comparisons to the Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
When are we getting Phoenix on this show?
God, if I know.
Anyways.
Yeah, and again, Apocalypse is the type of person, because he has perfect control of his biomolecular structure, he too is immune from typical erasure of reality. And I'm pretty sure Black Adam was erased in the Crisis. I could be wrong. I do not know what him and
even if he was,
Bill.
I feel like Convergence kind of ignores that entirely.
This is true. Yeah, you bring up a good point. So again, and let me just also say this: when Black Adam was too strong for the Wizard Shazam, because he realized there was no point in beating him in a physical contest, his ultimate plan was he banished Teth Adam to the far reaches of the universe, to where it would take him 5,000 years to come back. So who's to say if Apocalypse? I keep saying that a lot. Apocalypse could just banish him to the far reaches of anywhere, or he could just frigate. He could just find other ways to kill him. Again, it is an interesting back and forth between physical stats and hack, but. Given the fact that we've had characters who are physically superior get outmatched, again, for all intents and purposes, Kara with Shazam's energy, she was his equal at that moment. Mm-hmm. And it was only thanks to the hacks that Billy had, that's how he was able to kill her. So I'm of the belief that you can be physically superior to somebody, but if you have in order to get around that and adapt and overcome their physical superiority, then you've pretty much got it in the bag.
Okay. I don't know.
I am a novice. Sorry, go ahead.
all I'm saying is I'm still torn.
Yeah, look, I'm a novice Apocalypse. I am a novice Apocalypse expert. All of this is research and stuff that I was told by a friend of mine, so I'm pretty much confident. Despite me being a novice expert, I think Apocalypse hacks and his crazy levels of bullshit powers can get through Black Adam.
I mean, dude, that is fair though. It's just, I don't know, because I don't. Cause, I mean, gosh. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
I feel like I'm gonna meta again. How does Apocalypse compare to Doctor Doom?
Well, as far to my knowledge, I haven't seen any of them fight each other, but if I just had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure that Apocalypse would give Doctor Doom quite a challenge, because Doctor Doom also has hacks, too, but they're not this ridiculous. And that's saying something. And again, that's also another good case, because for all intents and purposes, with the Lex Luthor was physically superior to Doctor Doom.
Well, I say that because Black Adam is also much stronger than Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah, no, but still though, I would say I don't know, if I just had to take a shot in the dark, I would just have to say that compared to Doctor Doom, Apocalypse is probably above him.
You know, we really should have brought on someone who's going for Black Adam, because I'm left wondering. Could have like your typical DB cast.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah.
Going on. Oh well, who says we plan things out in advance?
Yep.
This is true. Well, okay. Look. If I was a betting man, I would say the lads will most likely go for Black Adam.
Which in this moment we kind of are. So that's another
yes.
thing. It's like I kind of want to agree with you, but I don't have any confidence that Apocalypse is winning the episode.
Yeah, same
and
here,
that's
honestly.
fine. And that's fine. But again, let me just say this: I'm placing my whole fucking streak on Apocalypse. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's I'm not.
For your sake, I hope Apocalypse wins, because that's gonna put a nice big red mark on your currently green streak.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I'm also kind of splitting it.
You've also got a green streak, so I say that because I literally have a chart in a notebook sitting right next to me. I colored the right guess is green and the wrong guess is red. You'd be surprised how many reds that these two have. Spoiler alert: it's none.
Yep. So.
Well, either way, I'm sticking with Apocalypse. You know, because again, look, Apocalypse is kind of the underdog right now, and the fact that Black Adam is the one in the lead, it makes me okay. I like the underdogs. So, and
That's
again.
fair.
Marvel is not short on bullshit characters themselves. DC is bullshit, but Marvel has their select few bullshit characters.
That's true.
And they've been able to beat the DC bullshit characters.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
you know what also sucks is that I could just say screw it and go for Apocalypse because he's the underdog and I can afford a loss. But at the same time, I've lost Harley, Wanda, and Hercules, so like I don't think I can afford a loss.
I mean, I don't friggin' know. I don't know. I mean,
okay. Well,
my gut. You know what?
Do I have a coin up here? I do. Coin toss. Here we go.
Okay.
ZDogg, you want a part in this too?
Sure, why not?
All right. Okay, heads or tails?
Heads.
Okay, actually, who are you going for if you get? Who are you going for if I get heads?
Black Adam.
Okay, this one's for you. What does that say? Yeah, I was going for Black Adam, apparently.
Okay. I mean, that's still what my gut's telling right now, so yeah.
And as for me, I literally just flicked it to the other side of the room. One sec.
Oh my god.
I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where, like, I'm going to Black Adam, but like I'm not going to be surprised at all if Apocalypse wins. So.
I'm going for Apocalypse.
Oh boy.
All right, so it's 2 for Apocalypse and 1 for Black Adam.
And like to be fair, based on this discussion, I'm not going to be surprised at all if Apocalypse ends up winning. It's just I don't know. There's just this gut feeling of like me sticking with Black Adam because like I know.
I will say. I want Adam to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to win. I'm more familiar with him. That's for absolute certainty. What I'm not certain about is if he's actually going to. And according to fate, I don't think he's going to win.
Okay, because like I don't know, because like Apocalypse attacks seem really freaking impressive. It's just there's just something about me how is Adam? How is Apocalypse permanently gonna put Adam down if he's weaker? But then that's where the hacks comes in. Freaking hell!
I just don't. It's just weird to me because I don't think either of them really possess many methods of putting the other down.
Yeah,
because like Apocalypse was weaker.
I mean,
but
okay, I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. Apocalypse does have many, many ways to put Black Adam down. It's just Black Adam doesn't have that many to put him down, as far as I'm aware.
Well, I mean, we are recording this really early, so chances are things will pick up. We'll get a little bit more confident.
Hopefully.
In the 2 weeks, I seriously doubt it, but
I hope so. But we'll see, I guess.
I mean, at the moment, we're working off of stuff that's like we're kind of just talking out of our butts here right now.
Basically.
So.
Well, I'm not. Again, I brought research, and I brought research and shit to back up Apocalypse winning. So
that's true. So.
Okay, well, fate has decided for me.
Henry, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going for Apocalypse. I want Black Adam to win, but here we are, I guess.
Yeah, only time will
tell. But again, I want people to know, keeping track, and you know who you are. My opinion could 100% change before the episode comes out, so keep that in mind.
Yep, same here. So we'll see.
I'm a man of my word, and my word is that I stick with Ansabanora, aka Apocalypse.
Okay. Yep. Well, let's hope that doesn't blow up in your face.
We'll see. Alright, so
we should get going.
You want teases real quick? No? Alright, cool.
Yep, as we alluded to in the previous segment, there's some more teases for this season because of course there is.
Hey, they did better.
Which
we've only got 3, and one of them's already happening. So
true. I do appreciate that they teased half the season and not freaking 3/4 of it.
Yeah.
Counting Wick versus Bond anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we have 2 teasers to talk about, and we're gonna go in order because the first one, oh freaking gosh,
Well, I was gonna say we should probably get the one that we're less familiar with out of the way, and also the one that will leave you out of Spain without the S for a little bit longer. But
fine.
Doesn't matter.
Fine.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just go wherever.
No, we're ripping the Band-Aid off right now.
Okay, Trunks time, baby.
Hell yeah, my boy.
I want to be excited. I really do. I want to be excited so badly, but I just can't be. Oh,
you want to be excited? You want to be excited, yet you're in dread.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not in dread. I'm in depression because I know what's happening.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Yeah. So we're getting Trunks. Woohoo!
More Dragon Ball.
Cool. More Dragon Ball. Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll be fair.
yeah.
I'll be fair. When was the last time we got a bad Dragon Ball fight?
Does Captain Marvel versus Carol versus
I
yeah.
forgot about that one. All right, there you go. There's the answer.
And to be fair, that was like what 4 years ago. Gosh, I feel old. Or 5 years ago. My God. Frick me.
Yeah,
Is
Carol
time
versus
fun?
Yay. Anyway, but no. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Death Battle knows how to Dragon Ball fight, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, we've had what? 4 of them in the last like 2-3 years.
5, or right? There's one. No, it's 4. No. 4 or 5. So.
Yeah. I'm starting with beers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and all of them have been a lot of them have been bangers, so we're in good hands.
I mean, if pretty much all the team from Thor versus Vegeta does this, then I think we're in good hands.
True.
Hell yeah. And I get to hear Kaiser and Neko reprise his role as Trunks, because of course they're going to get Kaiser to come back as future Trunks.
And
probably.
BBC abridged voice actors, or abridged voice actors in general, voicing their characters again is so weird nowadays.
It is.
You know, cool to see.
If this was like season 1 and 2, they would have brought them back for every episode.
Fair enough.
But now we've got like, they didn't get Nick Landis for Roshi. They didn't get Masako for Goku Black.
Nope.
And yet they'll still get Lanny for Vegeta. They'll still get Taka for Alucard. It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. Oh well.
Whatever. They'll probably get Kaiser back. I mean, he's voiced for Death Battle before, so what's stopping him now?
True.
Exactly.
Right. We'll see what happens, I guess. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when. Okay, we're ripping the bandit off right now. He's fighting Silver.
Yep. Feels good.
I don't.
Good old
I get to be right.
I hate it when these matches happen. Dang it. Okay. I mean, on one hand, I'm excited for more Sonic representation, and this is our first new Sonic character since Amy Rose.
How the frick? Why? I
sink
didn't
in.
even realize that until freaking looking on the wiki. How the heck has that happened? Have we not got an original Sonic character since Amy Rose?
Wait.
Huh?
Fuck if I know.
I somewhat take that back. I forgot about Metal Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, technicalities, but still.
I say Metal Sonic counts as his own individual event, but that's just me.
Fair, but still, that's like 5 seasons again. Dear gosh.
Even still, that's still ridiculous.
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, I know this community. This is going to be 2 weeks of people either A, bad-mouthing Silver, or B, not really talking much about him at all. Meanwhile, Trunks is gonna get all the hype.
Oh, you know he will.
Which I would be fine with if people would give some of that to Silver. Because I'm gonna hit you with some blasphemy, which I assume it's blasphemy. I don't know. I don't know what the Sonic community is like anymore because I don't know. I really like Silver. I really like Silver.
Yeah, I think he's cool, honestly.
I'm not even one of those people that's like, I mean, Silver's a fine character, but he had a horrible debut. No, I really like this character. Screw all the haters out there. I've always liked Silver. I mean, okay. I should probably clarify. I have nothing against Trunks. I think he's a fine character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not like Billy over there.
I will say I haven't seen Super. I don't think I will see Super. but I have heard
No.
that he gets treated absolutely horribly.
Oh no! You all think he gets treated horribly in the anime? Oh, you just wait until you get to the manga.
Yeah, dear.
Oh lord. Oh, let's not forget that Super Saiyan Rage is the worst transformation in Dragon Ball history, and that is
Yeah.
that is.
Whoa!
That
Hey, that actually was that was a great transfer.
That is not an opinion. That is fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good transformation. Shut up. It was a good transformation.
I hate it. I hate Super Saiyan Rage. I'm gonna hit you all with some spicy takes real quick. I hate Super Saiyan Rage more than Ultra Ego, and I hate Ultra Ego.
Okay, to be fair, I actually do like Ultra Ego, but I mean I get the complaint, but like, yeah.
Nah, man, no. Whatever. Yeah. Y'all be crazy. Well, just wait. I'm gonna save y'all a lot of this, but I don't think they're using just any future Trunks to fight Silver. I think they're using Xeno Trunks. And wait until I tell you about Xeno Trunks.
I mean,
you're probably
kind of doubt it.
You're probably the only person who thinks that.
Yeah. But,
yeah, because they're gonna have Game Silver fight regular Trunks. Oh yeah, or they're gonna have Archie Silver fight regular Trunks.
No, I don't.
Because it's not like.
I don't think Archie Silver is getting involved here.
Oh, I definitely no. Trust me, no. They are. I know it. Dollars to donuts. They're gonna have Archie Silver fight Xeno Trunks.
I really don't see it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
Only time will tell, but like, yeah, no.
Just know that entire podcast episode, that's just me getting bragging rights.
I feel like if they were gonna use Xeno Trunks, they would have shown him instead of Super Trunks.
Well, no. Well, again, they just chose that random clip. That was just a random clip that they're using future Trunks. Or, for all we know, they're going to compile all 5 Trunkses. And no, I did not stutter. There are 5 future Trunks.
I really think they're just going to use future Trunks, like, the Cell Saga, Super.
Okay, cool. Then he's gonna die.
Well, it's gonna
if it's Archie Silver.
Well, it's gonna be against Game Silver though.
Yeah.
They are not okay. Again, I'm sorry. I don't see them giving Trunks the win on this. Look, we should move on because I don't want to get into it.
I really want you to be right because that's gonna make me feel so much better.
Gosh.
But
look, when we get to it, I will lay it all down. I promise you. But I'm telling you right now, Trunks is not. If Archie is involved, they can give Trunks his strongest incarnation. He won't win.
That's fine.
I will
choose to believe you on that, but I don't choose to believe you on is that they're including Archie Silver at all.
I mean, even then, isn't like the Xenoverse stuff like thousands of times stronger than Archie stuff? From what I've heard. I've heard Xenoverse is freaking stupid.
Well, technically, it's heroes, not. But heroes. Yeah,
same thing.
It's the same shit. Yeah, more or less, it's the same thing. Yeah. More or less. Mm-hmm. But no, physically, yes, he is stronger. Hacks-wise, no.
Mm.
Again, this goes back to what I just said. You can be physically stronger than somebody, but if they have stupid-ass hacks and adaptability to get around that, you're pretty much fucked.
Alright, fair. Well, we'll save this for...
Well, regardless, if this track doesn't have a Rocking Crush 40 style vocal track, then this episode is a 0 out of 10. I don't care what they do.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Also, I know it's the obvious, but I feel like we should give credit to his other ideas just in case it's not Silver.
His other options are Chrono Shulk and Cable. Neither of them are happening.
He beats all of them.
And Lucina.
He would lose to Cable.
He beats Chrono. He beats Cable. Probably Shulk.
I would argue he loses to Cable.
Oh wait, you were serious? Let me laugh even harder.
I'm 100% serious.
Gosh, yeah.
Were we not just discussing Marvel Herald getting plank time?
Gosh.
And you think that applies to Cable?
Yes. The man fought the Silver Surfer.
Oh, good for him. Good for him. Good for him. The strongest version of Trunks can scale to Goku and Vegeta. That's very nice.
Okay. They've proven that plank time is faster. And what was their number again? What was it like 70 quadrillion times faster?
Gosh.
So yeah, no, 100%.
And how is
100% think Cable?
And my counter.
And not only that.
And my counter argument to that.
Not only that, but Cable's mind hacks is absurd. So, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna break this up. I'm gonna break this up saying
he beats everyone else, though.
Well, I mean, I have heard Shulk is actually debatable, but also that match is bad because apparently Shulk doesn't even time travel. So Lamau, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand Trunks versus Shulk at all.
Also, counter argument, real quick. Vegeta could break Babidi's mind control. So what makes you think Trunks couldn't break through that?
Moving on. Regardless, it's really funny that you're this serious about it because none of that matters. It's silver.
Yeah, it absolutely. Yeah, I would like it to be Chrono, but it is definitely going to be silver. So
it is.
So
I'm just happy to be having fun with
I just wanted to bring that up just in case it's not silver, even though we know it's going to be. But you know.
I want silver to lose Breaking Bad, but he's not going to. All right, let's move on.
Sure.
All right. Yep. Move on to who?
Yeah. Okay.
I kid mostly.
Mostly.
Well, apparently the community thinks that. But yeah.
So, who here remembers The Lord of the Rings?
I do. I watched all 3 movies: the Ralph Bakshi movie, the Hobbit films. I have the Hobbit novel.
Here's the funny thing. I wasn't talking about the franchise.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was, but I'm just messing with you. I was talking about the character. The character, The Lord of the Rings, Sauron. He's coming.
Yes, the best character, the Lord of the Rings.
The ultimate Dark Lord himself. You know, aside from Darth Vader. That's the point.
Technically, Frodo was the Lord. So, but whatever.
Do we really need to get into semantics right now?
Okay. Yeah,
okay,
right.
yeah, so Sauron's probably fighting drum roll.
Whoa. Let's talk about this in general because this is huge.
Okay.
Yeah. Another new franchise for the board, and it's the Lord of the Rings. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Man,
fair enough.
Why did this take so long? I know why, but why?
Yes, it just did.
It's like, oh my gosh. Well, first off, I'm surprised that it's Sauron and not someone.
Yeah,
like
not Gandalf. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm cool with it, but like.
Oh no, 100% cool.
I would have preferred if it was Gandalf, but whatever.
Well, I'm 100% cool with it because Gandalf's match was trash.
How dare you?
Well.
Well, so are most of these fights, but you know, hey, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they handle this character. Full disclosure, I'm not crazy familiar with him. I will be watching the Lord of the Rings movies in prep for this fight. I actually bought the collection. I'm not doing anything with it until I know that he's coming up next. But yeah, here we are.
Fair enough.
All right. So this is a bit of a wild card. I think we can guess. We can make a pretty good guess who his opponent is, but he does have quite a few options.
Yes.
Such as?
Well, basically, name a Dark Lord. He's probably been suggested to fight him.
Okay.
Voldemort, Darth Vader.
Yep, I've heard it.
What do you know?
In fact, Ben has said that he wanted to make Sauron versus Darth Vader work before he made Vader versus Doom. But resources were limited back then, so they went with Doom instead.
Fair enough. So.
But yeah, I've heard it. I've heard Vader versus Sauron. I've heard Sauron versus Voldemort.
Yeah.
I actually think Voldemort versus Sauron is actually pretty good.
I mean,
I'm cool with both of them, honestly.
I think the theme is there. I'm not sure about the fight potential, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, yeah.
Also, I know this is so not a factor, and I want that to be clear. But is it really a good idea to bring Harry Potter in right now?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's freaking.
Again, it is super not a factor. I understand that, but
but I mean, it's still the community.
The other opponent that we have failed to mention. I mean, the other opponent we've failed to mention is also from a rather controversial background.
It is?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the Lich King.
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't realize Warcraft had.
Warcraft is made by Blizzard.
Oh, right. How did I forget that? Silly me.
Same.
Sorry. Yeah, that's
it could be any one of these three. I'm personally banking on it being the Lich King.
Yeah, I've heard Lich King. I've heard Lich King most often, and I'm cool with that. I mean,
yeah.
I'm in the same boat that all three of them would be niche, but
I want the Lich King the most because, from what I've gathered, both of them are necromancers. We could get an undead army fight here.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
That'd be fun.
Nice.
Yeah. What was the other one? Oh, it was Nightmare. The other one I heard was Nightmare.
I was gonna say Nightmare, yeah.
But I guess that would be kind of cool. It's like the Eye of Sauron versus Inferno. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
I think Nightmare deserves better than what he got.
Definitely. But we'll see.
It's like, say what you will about the fight, but I think it's kind of impossible to deny that Nightmare wasn't exactly handled the best.
Yeah. But,
no question about it.
Also, he should have won, but that's neither here nor there.
So,
So, yeah, I feel like there were more. Sauron is kind of like the go-to Dark Lord for many people, so... Like I said with Bond, like throw a stone at a shelf of Dark Lord, chances are Sauron's probably been suggested to fight them. But
yeah, but I feel like these four are probably the most likely, and out of them, I've seen the Lich King most often.
Ganondorf was the other one.
Ganondorf. That makes sense.
It's not going to be Ganondorf.
Oh no, he's not. I don't. Honestly, I don't see him reaping unless. I don't know. I don't see him reaping for a while, but I mean, it would be cool. So.
I guess.
I don't know. I feel like out of these though, the Lich King I've seen the most, and I'm okay with that. So even despite the whole Blizzard thing that we're not getting into, but
plus it like I said, doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Man,
so
I need to make this clear. If coming from a controversial company or a controversial creator was that big of a deal, I don't think we'd be getting like any characters in Death Battle.
That's true, and that's unfortunate to say. Ugh. Anyway.
So yeah, I really don't think the siege going on with Blizzard is really going to play a factor. If Sauron doesn't fight the Lich King, it's because the crew thinks that whoever he's fighting is better.
It's not because of that whole thing.
Yeah. What is kind of unfortunate though for those who for those of you who are Lord of the Rings fans, is that from what I've heard, he loses to pretty much all of these four except for maybe Voldemort.
Yeah, they're
Wait,
no.
really? I sure. I mean, are you sure?
Yeah.
Probably Hacks, probably Voldemort, but I'm guessing Sauron out.
All of
Goals.
Voldemort's attacks
Yeah.
can be deflected, though.
That's true.
Like some of those spells don't work if they hit a rock. They just dissipate.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't. Plus, I mean, I don't know the full extent of Sauron's power. I haven't really heard much talk about him in a versus sense, so I'm not crazy familiar with how powerful he is. I've heard anywhere from like island to universe level. So like.
Oh, you know, that's a small gap.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, if he's universe level, then he probably beats everyone except for the Lich King, who also has a similar gap.
Jeez.
If he's island, then Vader beats him, which I'm chilling. For Lich King, I've heard anywhere again universal, but I think the lowest I heard was like multi-continent, which is higher than Sauron. So,
Okay.
I'm just going off of what I've heard. I know nothing about these characters.
Fair enough. Yeah. But
people in the comments let me know what's the best way to get into Warcraft without actually playing it.
Yes. Is there an animated series like Arcane for Warcraft?
I mean,
again,
going back to what we were saying, the whole situation with Blizzard is not why I don't want to play Warcraft. I just don't want to play Warcraft. It just doesn't look like my cup of tea. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't played it. But,
maybe.
So yeah.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
It's Blizzard. So there's got to be like animated shorts or something like Overwatch.
Probably. Hopefully. Yeah. So Lich King's probably the most likely, and then who knows what else? I mean, out of the four,
probably I think
Vader.
For me, second most likely is probably Vader.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. So, and then probably after that is
at the same
Voldemort.
time, I don't want that because then we lose that. Then we lose out on Vader versus Obito, and I like that one more. So
that's true. That's fair. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. But good for him. He's getting in. Good for him getting in. Excited to see what happens with it.
Very
agreed.
They're still surprising me about these new franchises.
Keep it coming.
They never cease to surprise me whenever they bring a new one in.
Yep. So keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
We'll see. And we've got 4 other episodes left that are complete mysteries. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be something. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's that. I don't think there's anything more we can talk about. I think that's it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed Bond versus Wick. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Hope you guys are excited for Black Adam versus Apocalypse. If your name is Biffweed, then I know you are. And who do you think Trunks and Sauron are going to fight, and why is it Silver and Lich King?
Yes.
Also, again, let me know what's the best way to get into Warcraft.
Yeah.
I want to be prepared for when that fight happens, and just watching Lord of the Rings isn't gonna cut it if he's fighting another character from a new franchise. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll do it. So, thanks for watching. If you guys watched the last episode, I'm not going to say much about it right now, but I left a little teaser at the very end for a future project that we're doing. So give that a watch. And then be excited for when that comes out.
Yes, because we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got some big plans for the end of the year. All right. Also, let us know in the comments below why we're the superior podcast to the Last Discuss.
Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
Dear gosh.
I second that.
We're in a competition now, boys.
Yep.
That's why I intend to win. Or for us to win, I should
And in
say.
case anyone's wondering in the comments, if anyone wants to know what the record is, stay tuned to the end. Be patient. All right.
Tension.
From this moment on, I'm not letting even these two know until we reach the end.
Oh boy.
So
yay.
I'm keeping track. I have several charts. So yeah.
Several, actually. Sorry.
All right. I'm going to mute him and then end the podcast. Mute. I wonder if he can unmute, because I bet. I'll just unmute him. I'm not that correct.
Correct.
All right, bye everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.